Kathryn Solon, the International Chair of Democrats Abroad, joins me now from Scottsdale in Arizona. Kathryn, thanks so much for joining us again. I know it's again late. You must be so tired. But I do want to ask you one question. Some would say that Arizona this year could also surprise. What's the mood like there? And are the Democrats still cautiously optimistic?
Yes, we are. And Nafisa, thank you for having me back. Thank you for showing me these pictures of Florida and Delaware and Pennsylvania and New York. The mood is different in Arizona, and I would beg to differ with the correspondents that have reported already, because we are becoming less cautiously optimistic. And I think that most of the people that are looking at this election think that Biden is going to pull out either a narrow victory or really perhaps a landslide. And with that, he's going to bring along control of the Senate by winning at least 5, 6, 7 Senate seats and keep the House, so that we really can have a leader who is trustworthy and reliable and will do something about COVID, those complaints in New York. I mean, the issues with COVID in the United States, we are 4% of the world population and yet 20% of the deaths. And this is because of the inadequate and irresponsible leadership of Donald Trump. And when President Biden takes office, and hopefully in the months before that, we will have a plan to control COVID, and we will have a plan to help the economy in the way it needs to be helped now, so that we can survive.
Kathryn, Donald Trump already said he will challenge the results. How can this end up? Can this end up at the Supreme Court at the end? When can we expect the results, actually?
There's a lot of noise that comes out of Donald Trump's Twitter feed and his mouth. And I think we have to really look at what is possible and what actions can be taken. But in the first case, he doesn't get to declare himself president. He doesn't get to announce the results of the election. He doesn't get to decide who gets to vote in the United States. It's the voters that get to decide who is president. And each of the 50 states will have their polls open tomorrow. The majority of people have already voted. More than 100 million have already voted. But still, many tens of millions will vote tomorrow. And every state will run the election according to their laws, and they will count according to their laws, and they will announce when they're finished counting. Some will be early, and some will be late. So many of us are ignoring the noise that he's making, and we're paying attention to the polls tomorrow, the determined and dignified voters, and then making sure that every validly cast ballot is counted. And it's going to take some time.
Yes, and Kathryn,
some states will announce tomorrow, and some will announce on Friday, and some maybe on the following Tuesday.
And
the states that you just sorry.
I just want to. We don't have much time, so I have to ask you one more question. Another big story of this election is a massive turnout that we are seeing in the U.S. In postal votes, in-person early votes. Why are we seeing this this year in the U.S.? Is it because of the pandemic?
It is because of the pandemic, and it is because of our motivator in chief. It is because of the leadership that we haven't had around the pandemic. But this is one of the most exciting things about this election. We have new voters. In Texas, nearly 2 million new voters since 2016. In Arizona, where I am, 400,000. And I would tell you that's something that's going to bring Biden into the White House, because those new voters, they're not Trump voters. They're anti-Trump voters. They're Biden voters. They're votes for change, and they're votes for new leadership. So, and they're coming from all kinds of people, lots of young people, of course, but many people who haven't voted in the past. If we look at the overseas vote, we've doubled it, the work of Democrats Abroad, the organization that I work with. And we're finding people that have never voted before, that are young, that live abroad, but we're finding people who haven't voted for 40 years and are coming back to the polls now because they know how important this election is.
Okay, and just quickly, the closing remarks from the both candidates. Trump saying, success brings people together. We will win this. Biden saying, we have to fight this virus, but first we need to get rid of Trump. End of quote. How do you find these closing remarks? It shows that your country is deeply, deeply divided.
I would think that actually that quote from Donald Trump is one of the few things that we wouldn't have to fact check to see if it's another one of the 50 lies a day that the Washington Post reports that he says, because it's true. Yes, success does bring people together, and he has a failed presidency of 4 years. So, one of the things that adds to the division that he has sowed in our country. And then, as far as Joe Biden, we cannot move on many of the other challenges that face the U.S. and the world until we get this virus under control. We need a national plan, and he's got one.
Okay, let's see what happens. Kathryn Solon, thanks so much for staying up late for this show. I appreciate it, and good luck.
Well, it's 7 hours to the polls open, and thank you for watching. We will be working all the way through the close of polls tomorrow and through the next week to make sure that every ballot that is cast on time and in a legal way is counted.
Okay, Kathryn, thanks so much.